Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Scav Tarkov video. Today I am doing the new player guide / map guide for the map Shoreline. I'm going to be going over the extracts, the spawns, the high loot areas, the danger areas, and all the little tips and tricks in between. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Alright, so this is the map Shoreline. The way it works is about 12 to 14 people that will spawn in here. I don't actually know the exact number anymore. They've changed it a few times. It's a very large open map with a big resort of loot in the middle, and they've actually added some new areas in the actual map itself that has made it a lot more friendly and also a lot more extracts to make it a lot more, friendly to be able to get out of it. Has some of the most valuable items in the game being the red key card and the blue key cards. So that's also something you should take note of because that can make you a lot of money and set you up for the entire what. All right, so I'm pretty much at the Road to Customs extract. It's also a spawn. You can spawn all the way along this side of the map and all the way down there. There is the new area on this side of the map. I'll show you that later on in the video. But we're going to run pretty much across to the radar, and I'll show you a little bit of what's going on around the coastline, and then we'll come back up to the resort. So pretty much anywhere on the edge of this map you can spawn. It's not just located, there's not like this, like the one side and the other side. It's pretty much a full 360 around the map. You can spawn. They've reduced some of the spawns closer to the resort, and this is to kind of prevent, I guess, people, having better access to the resort earlier. But with the new area being over here, there's still plenty of spawns along that side as well. And I'd say on the tunnel side of the map, being the other side of the map, there is less spawns along the coastline. But there are some. Oh, this is really bad running for me. There are some located along the wall towards the resort. Now, I've deliberately come up here just so I can give you guys a decent bearing. If you're watching this video, you can follow along in offline mode, and it makes it a lot easier for you guys to learn the map. So I won't be doing any big time jumps or anything like that. So Road to Customs is back over this side. This is the radar building. You've got the resort up on the hill over here. That dome there is actually from the map reserve, and at the bottom of that is the new extract for it's called the Climbers Trail extract, and you can use the Red Rebel and Paracord to get out of that extract. But you can't be wearing an armor, but you can be wearing an armored rig. This is the new area of the map. A lot of loose spawn over there, or loose loot, I should say. A lot of tech spawns, really. And then the car extract is on that side of the map too. So a large amount of the extracts are all along this side. All right, from here, we're going to run. Just wanted to try and give you the best bearings as you can so you can understand where everything is. I call it radar. Some people call it weather station. It's tomato, tomato. You can have it whatever call it you want. You could call it the giant testicle for all I care. As long as when you're playing with mates, they know where your call-outs are. That's probably the most important thing. Now, there are some spawns that are actually located in, this actual specific area. Down in this low ground. So, even if you feel like you got here pretty quick, sometimes someone could already have spawned right next to it. So, just be careful. I generally don't go near this building unless I have to, for example, in Signal Part 1 and 3 is pretty much the only times I'll come near this, just because of the fact that it's just so easy to get caught out because of someone could be on the first, second, or on the roof, and then also up in the radar dish, or could just be bad timing and they're just coming from a different angle and saw you running up. But yeah, so for inside here, duffel bags in this side, med spawns on this side. Upstairs you got the filing cabinets, and then you got the safe. So, and there's a computer there. One of the new additions to the actual area, though, is in the expansion, or the update they just done, is there is a lot of tech spawns. I'm in offline mode. I'll probably repeat this, but I'm in offline mode, so spawns, loot doesn't show as much. But, for example, along here, and inside the crate, and inside on the ground here, you can actually find a lot of technical items and barter items, so definitely worth looking around now. So even down in that shack. Now they've added a heap of trees and it's made it really difficult to see. When we had the snow, you could at least see through the trees a lot easier. But moving around this map, you shouldn't get sniped as easily. Thankfully, Shootable in Heaven doesn't require you to do 100-meter headshots anymore. So your shootable tasks shouldn't be too much, shouldn't be hindered too much by the fact that there's so many more trees. But yeah, there are spawns down on the, I don't even know the name of this, down on the coastline area and then out through the back. Just be careful. A little bit of Tarkov lore for you, for those that are interested. If we come down to the bottom here, some people call it blue fence apparently. So if we come down to the bottom here, if you see this like building at the end, there's mines all along the front of it. Just be careful of that. This building at the end is actually terminal. So it's actually a shipping terminal. That's what it means by terminal, not like an airport terminal. That is where you escape from Tarkov. It's also the last map and how you will win and beat this game. So when we finally get to the actual play the map terminal and escape from Tarkov, that's where it'll be located. I'm hopefully not going to be in a retirement home by then. Now, as we run down this way, we have the pier. That used to actually, this is more Tarkov history. That actually used to be an extract. It's no longer an extract. Back when Shoreline was only half the map it is now, it was even less than half. This was as far as you would be able to go, as in you'd be on the other side of this. You'd never be able to cross over this river, creek, whatever you want to call it. And this part of the map was never available. And the extract was down at the end. But apparently now you can extract from there as a scav. I don't scav very often on this map at all. But yeah. Now, if the pier extract is open, you'll see the green smoke. In the past, there was no green smoke. You just had to run out on the pier and hope that it worked. But thankfully, it does work now. Sanitar does spawn in this area as well. That's the scav boss for this area, or for this map. And it can be quite dangerous. Inside here, you've got the 3 filing cabinets. There's a cash register there if you're a little bit short in cash, wanting to take the car extract and you forgot about bringing in your money. You got the safe and the computer. One thing to note, with the keys for this map, this is how I roll. I go key tool and a docs case. You can do SIG case and a docs case, but this is, you want to do one of those two things, either SIG case, doc case, or key tool, docs case. The reason for that is Shoreline has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 safes in it. 11 safes, sorry, 11 safes. So there's a lot of items that you can actually loot and just put it straight into a docs case. And there's a lot of filing cabinets too. So you actually fill up a docs case quite easily. So just take note of that. If you are wanting to know what keys, you can go to my Twitch chat and do !keys and get the link to the priority keys image. Otherwise, you go to my priority keys video and I'll show you all the rooms and all the maps that you need for each of the keys, or each keys you need for each of the maps, and you'll be able to get all the loot with no issue whatsoever, because you won't run into any players because I'm in offline mode. But so yeah, you just got to run out to the pier and you can extract. That is the pier extract. It is not always open. That's what I should emphasize, the pier boat. So yeah, it's Shoreline can have a lot of loot in it. You just got to know how to capitalize on it. It can be quite punishing of a map. So having, for example, the docs case to put loot in is quite handy. All right, so now I'm hoping I don't die here. But in the past, you can usually jump through this. I don't have enough meds on me to do this, but the way you pretty much do it is you come inside here and then you want to jump that gap there. So you go pretty much up that rail, go over there. There is a safe located just there. And then there's, in that room right there, there's weapon crates, and there's another weapon crate in that back room there. But if you want to attempt it, jump over that bit, and then on the way back, you come over that spot there. You might black out a leg, so make sure you have a CMS or a survival kit. But yeah, there's the safe, and there's the weapon crate. There should be 2 weapon crates in that room and 1 in the other, or vice versa. There's another weapon crate. Actually, I might go to power from here. Apparently you can jump just nump the line between the two shelves straight away. Whatever that means. You can just jump the line between the two shelves straight away. There you go. Thank you, L. Smizzle. Now, for power station, there can be sniper scavs on the roof, so be wary of that. If they're dead, then you know someone's been here or been near here. If they're up and shooting, look at them and see what direction they're facing, because that's where the players are. So it's worthy of noting. For power station, toolbox down the back here, another toolbox, but you can also get like a loose key spawn there, 2 jackets and a duffel bag down the back. If you go upstairs, this is the Heps key. You get it from a quest. I can't remember the exact name of it. And there's toolboxes that spawn along the top here. This is the Heps key. You can also buy on Flea. But there's the 3 weapon crates, 4 apparently now. Loot spawns up the top here and an intel spawn underneath. So definitely worth checking out if you're already here. And a toolbox as well. They've added a lot of extra containers in the new expansion. They just decided, hey, let's add a crap load of containers. So if you run straight up here, you'll enter the center of the resort. I'm not going to run over to show you because it's a fairly simple building, but I might be able to show you a bit later. But there's the bus depot there. And the bus depot inside the actual, like, building itself, you can get some actual cool loot. There's the, like, motor spawns and all that. There's a dead body. Usually some scavs if you need to get scav kills. And then also behind the door in the actual little office area, there's 2 jackets you can loot. I might be able to show you that on the way back up to the resort, depending on how much time we've got left. Right, as we run down this way, there is the cottages. This is the next spawn for Senator. The second spawn for Senator, he can be in this blue fence area here, or it can actually be throughout the cottage area as well. So the first spawn is down by the pier. The second is in the cottage area, and the last one is up at the resort. Senator can have up to 3 minions with him, and maybe even 4 sometimes. But he's very, very dangerous. You don't want to be caught out in the open. There are a heap of loose technical items and barter trade items in that area. For cottages, the main focus is, this is the cottage key. That will give you access to 1 safe. There's a loose AK spawn on the bottom floor as well. So there's an AK spawn on the couch. There's cash that spawns on the table. You need this key for a quest. Colleagues Part 2, I think it is. So yeah, there's computer, weapon case, or weapon rack, safe, and then the cottage safe key as well. So you need the actual cottage safe key for this. If you've already got the cottage key, you might as well buy this one because it gets a second safe for you. Gold chain, rubles. The cottage key itself actually spawns on the blue barrel right here. So every time you run past, you might as well check it because it sells for a lot of money. As we come down to this building, there's 2 more safes. This area is quite hot. Like all the time, it is quite hot. So just be careful of that. 4 safes in close proximity. You loot all these 4 safes. You put all the stuff in the docks case. And then you're laughing. That doesn't fit in the docks case, but you get the point. Look at all this money. And then the top of this one's a safe as well. And this is why I emphasize having that. So for example, Sastra is probably worth about 40k, Diary is about 35. The Kizzy I think is maybe worth about 30 as well. So there's like 100k just there. And even if you die, you've still got 100k. So this is how people that play the game a lot can always make sure they still make money even when they die. Is just having those little things. And even if you got an alpha container, you know, you could fit a key tool in a docks case and still have room for one more thing. I'm going to cut across here first, and then we'll swing back around the bottom. Alright, for this side of the map. I'm not going to run out there because I can show you everything from here. But there is the Scav Island. It's kind of good if you need to get scav kills, but I wouldn't go out there unless you have to. The only way in and out is on this boat. Inside that shack right there can be 4 med bags now. I think I've seen 4 at once. There's also weapon crate inside there. There's a toolbox there. There's another toolbox just inside, just on the other side of that shack. And then there's a weapon box. And a heap of loose items there, and another toolbox there. So, it's not a bad little place to loot, but if you get shot at by a scav there, and someone needs to get player kills on this map, like Shooterborn in Heaven or whatever, they are sprinting over for you. So, I would just say, unless you have to go out there, just avoid it. You can make money elsewhere. You're going to die more often than not if you get caught out there. It's very difficult to fight your way back over. Now, this is the tunnel extract. So pretty much you can spawn from the bottom down here all the way up this wall and all the way along that far side of the map. There's no spawns if you for this side of the map along the coast all the way up to Pier. So if you get this spawn, you're the only person on the coastline, and you can run all the way up to the pier without really having any issue of running into someone. But they could try and come across some cottages. You can extract through the side there or down the bottom. Just be careful, people standing up the top there. They have made it a little bit more exposed so people can't camp up there as easy. So with the village, so this is the village. I generally loot this area a lot. Having that key tool or docks case with space free in it. Because there is probably, I'm only guessing, Map Genie would be a friend. But there's probably about 30 jackets in this area alone. So, I'll try and point them out just very briefly, but 2 inside the door. Sorry, 1 on the side of the door, 2 on the other side, and then 2 in there. So there's 4 in that building. There's 2 just there. There's 1 in that building. There's 2 right here. I'm going to miss some as well. There's another one, inside the doorway of this building. There's 2 more just inside that door there. And I can guarantee you there's some in these buildings either they've added them or I just forgotten about them. So another one of the back buildings of this little side of the street as well has another jacket. So then you've got a hidden stash there. Another hidden stash just on the other side of this concrete bollard, like, what do you call it, bollard? Concrete thing, just there. And then all throughout these buildings as well. There's 2 more jackets just in that red building there. And then there's probably another 5 or 6 that I know of in this spot right here. So, if early wipe and you need keys, this is a really good spot to go if you're after Shoreline keys. The way that key spawns work, it's not guaranteed you're going to get keys for that map, but it's more likely you will. So, for example, you go to Shoreline, you're more likely to get Shoreline keys. If you go to Reserve, you're more likely to get Reserve keys. You can get other keys, but it's yeah, more likely. Now, inside the swamp area, I would highly recommend not going into this area to loot unless, like, you're crazy. But there is some hidden stashes in that. This building's quite decent. It's got a lot of tech spawns, a jacket in that. The path to Lighthouse extract. So if I double tap O, path to Lighthouse extract is this whole section here. So if you just run out that way, that's the path to Lighthouse. There are a lot of weapon crates throughout the other side of the village, and then some spawns in there as well. For some spawns in there as well for hidden stashes. You'll have to come into this building twice, I think it is, for a quest. So you can loot that body there if you need to. But unfortunately, you'll find a lot of players that will run the path of Lighthouse Extract, and they'll take that path all the way along the side there. So the issue you're going to run into is if you get caught out down the bottom here making noise or shooting at a scav or whatever, and they're running along here, you are stuck in a really bad spot. So I'd just recommend try to avoid going down there unless you have to. Same with running across this field. Like, there's a hidden stash in the middle of the field. I've probably only looted it like 5 times ever, just because of the risk involved in it. I just double check, make sure I haven't missed anything. I actually don't know where Smugglers Co-op Extract is. Is that near Climbing Trail? There. All right, so we're running up towards the resort. They've actually changed how this all looks now. A couple of things to note before we go up to it. There's a bunker over here. Really good for if you need scav kills. It's worth coming over to here. And it's also the Climber's Trail Extract. So generally speaking, you'll have 2 scavs on top of the rock. So they'll spawn on top of this rock here. There'll be two sniper scavs, and then you can have anywhere up to 3 or 4 scavs spawn at the bottom. So down in this section here. The Climber's Trail Extract is this one here. To take that extract, you need to have a Red Rebel, which is this one here. A paracord, and then you have to not be wearing body armor. An armored rig is fine. You can have a huge backpack. You just can't be wearing body armor. Alright, so we've got our resort on the left. I just want to show the bus depot. I didn't get an opportunity to show you guys before. So bus depot can be quite decent to get some scav kills. And all that loot I was talking about before was in this side, in this building here. So for the back of the building, there can be motors and car batteries and all that kind of stuff. Scavs usually sit in that back room as well, so just be careful of that. The front left here, the office, there's a filing cabinet and a cash register and 2 jackets. And there's a dead scav loot right there. After that, we'll head through the resort. All right, so for the resort, we are on the west wing side. We've entered through the fence. There is a couple of things to take note of. You can go onto the roof from this side of the resort, and there's another entrance down the other end. But this is the way most people will get to the resort when they're coming from like the village, cottage area, and down from the swamp. Once inside, some of these rooms, they've got like med spawns up on the walls and that. You can get med bags and that. This is an offline raid, so like I always say, offline raids have less loot than normal. I'm going to go through all the main rooms to take note of. So, okay, so West 104, there's a blue key card spawn there, and then meds that spawn up on the top. Definitely worth taking note of that. And this is all in the priority keys guide, and if you go keys in my Twitch chat, you can get access to that. This is West 112. Now, blue keycard spawn on there. You can have like 4 duffel bags spawn in here and a heap of food. You also do need this for a Lend-Lease task later on. Lend-Lease? No, vitamins. So it's worth grabbing that. All these little side rooms have a heap of duffel bags and med bags. Another thing to take note of, which I probably would have been better off showing you from the other end, but if you go down here in the pool area, all from that spot onwards, there's probably about 20 duffel bags. So if you're after like a specific like random item, it's like doing a bit of gamba. You get a chance to get some of those items. Now I'm going to go straight up to third floor before I go down second, but on third floor, the actual utility key opens up this door here, and it's the same with the door down below. And there's just some barter trade spawns, duffel bag, and then the first safe 321 is in here. When I talk about safes, this is why you want to have a docks case that's mostly empty, because you're going to find stuff in safes that you can just top up. Obviously we've got a clock there, but you know, diaries and flash drives, Bitcoins, GP coins, all that kind of stuff. As for locked rooms and other rooms up top here on the third floor, there are a couple of weapon crates, duffel bags, but nothing too crazy to take note of. Now, back down for a second. Just be careful of someone sitting on this end of the staircase and just coming up. So if you just charge up, I'd always just do a quick check to the right as you're coming up. Like obviously once you've cleared this bit, and just make sure you look out to the right there, because sometimes people will be camping in that corner. If you're hearing people here, at least. Like I said, these are utility key. The loot in here is nothing like too crazy, but like there's a lot of barter trade spawns that will spawn on the shelves there. You want that key for later on anyway. So I can't remember which key I have. 221. So 222, 221, and I think it's 218. Call me a liar. 218. These all go to the same room. They're all connected. So med bags in this one. Med spawns along the top here and across here. And then also you've got a red keycard spawn on this barrel. So there's 5 red keycard spawns to keep an eye out for. That's one of them. And then you can obviously get DVLs and stuff in the weapon shelves. Racks, whatever you want to call them. Alright, for now this side. So, 220. This is also needed for a quest, but it's also got a gold spawned on the back here. This is definitely worth looting. Weapon and med spawns along the top there. 219. So 220 and 219. Preferably you want to get the 220 key. If it's cheap, get that one. If not, 219 will suffice for a quest that you're going to get later on. Inside here, you've got ammo spawns. BP is actually worth quite a bit right now. And then you've got this here. But yeah, you do need to come in here for a quest, or you can go around the 220 up to the balcony right there. Save yourself having to get both keys. But if you're doing a lot of looting at Shoreline, it's worth coming in here anyway, because there is meds as well. Next one down, 216. This has also got a lot of good loot in here. There's also Lend-Lease item spawns in there for one of the quests later on. You've got 2 grenade boxes and a heap of med spawns on here. You'll find stims a lot. And then loose ammo spawns down there. As for the rest of the second floor, you don't really need to worry too much about that. I'm going to be going up onto third. You need to make sure you loot this room here. So this spot right there on the seat, right there where the Veritas prick is, and then also here, you can get Ledexes, lions, cats, all that kind of stuff. Down this way, there's the West 306 room. This one's needed for a quest, healthcare privacy, but it also has 2 of these scav dead bodies, a heap of med spawns, and loose food and stuff as well, and cash on the ground. So every time you see cash, if you've got the docks case with the room, you can put it in there, and if you die, you still keep the money. West 301, down here. Before you open this door, check this corner. You'll be amazed how creepy and how easily someone can hide in this corner, and you'll just run straight past them. It's frustrating when you die to them. So yeah, you're looking for spawns up the top here on the ground. It'll kind of be like into the actual carpet itself. There's spawns for on the edge here. Then all across the bed for Ledexes. There's like, I think tech spawns and maybe a Ledex spawn on top of the table here. And then check the ground as well. We've got the weapon crates and the 2 computers. West 301's usually one of those rooms that you definitely want to check. Now heading downstairs. 205 or 203. I've got the 203 key. For this one, you've got the med crate, duffel bag. You also have a red keycard spawn right here. You've probably ran past one if you've been playing the game a lot, and you didn't even know it. Then also there's med spawns. You can get LEDXs up on either of these tables. There's obviously the meds on the floor. And then you've got toolboxes and other stuff. There used to be an MP5 that spawned on this shelf on the windowsill. But I guarantee you it's only spawning the magazine now. I don't know why, but weird. As for the rest of West Wing, the only other thing I'll point out is downstairs. Now, like I said, there's all these duffel bags. There's one there. There'll be like one here. Sound like a broken record. So they're everywhere down here. So you can get about 20. And then there's a red keycard spawn on the shelf right here. So I think it's that one right there. So keep note of that. You don't want to miss out on that red keycard there. Red keycards are currently selling for about 65 million. I'm at about 54 million on my account. So it'd be nice to find one instead of having to do that. All right, heading over to admin building. There's a cash register there if you're short on cash trying to get to the car extract. Downstairs, the only real spawn note you need to take note of is this one here. You can spawn LEDXs off thermoscopes, med spawns. It's in a med spawn. It's a med spawn that can spawn any meds, obviously. Coming down to the far end now. So this is a safe. This is one of those 2 safe keys I was talking about. So there is 2 safe keys for resort. There's the health resort management warehouse safe key and the health resort management office safe key. So Shoreline is actually fairly decent when it comes to safes. And this is why you want to have a bit of space free in your docs case. Your filing cabinet tier and another one here. Just be careful if you're standing here, the sniper scav can actually shoot you. Not a lot of crazy loot in this room. You can get some spawns of tech spawns in there on that shelf. Sometimes, or at least it used to be, there was an AK spawn on the billiards table. I don't know if it's still there. And weapon crates here. I don't go near those just because you can get sniped from West Wing if someone knows you're over here. But there is actually a key spawn here. So it's like a West 216 or something. Inside the theater room, the main one is really just the duffel bag here. There used to be an East key spawn or something in there, but the East 107, I don't know if it still is. But here you've got the computers, plenty of computers you can loot if you want to put yourself in a risky spot for someone sniping at you. And there are some tech spawns on that table. Over and down this way, tech spawns, another key spawn. One of the West room keys, I believe. And then computer. Inside this room, you have the next safe. So it's either the warehouse safe or the admin safe. One of those two. And then... and obviously the computer there. Moving in. Red keycard spawn number 4 is right here. So we half tucked underneath the newspaper. And then you've got a heap of tech spawns on the shelves in here with the computer. Moving along. That is pretty much everything for admin that you need to know. Now, Senator can spawn on either East or West Wing, so just be wary of that. You'll usually hear people fighting him unless you're first tier. Because he's got 3 minions at the moment. It can change between 2 and 3. Assume that each of these side rooms could have either duffel bags or med bags. Now, this is 110, or it's also known as the blue tape key. So inside here, you can find LEDX spawns on the ground, med spawns all around, but it's also needed for a quest, chemist closet or something like that. So yeah, gold chains can spawn on the little shelf there. You've got the computer, and just be careful of checking all these spots here for spawns. East 107, I think it's just 3 med bags in here from memory. So med bag, you've got meds that spawn up the top. You can find LEDXs in here, and sometimes there's a med bag on that right there. Now you've got extra duffel bags. I actually haven't looted these as much as other wipes, but this wipe they've added heaps of duffel bags and stuff. So there's probably even more loot spawns than I'm even used to. As for all the side rooms, if you just check, you'll find duffel bags and med bags. If you search every duffel bag and med bag, and every room in the resort. I'd be very surprised if you didn't find either a LEDX or something of decent value. There's just that many duffel bags that chances are you're going to find something pretty sweet. All right, so West 226, sorry, East 226 or East 222. For this one, there's tools that spawn along here. You can get Tetrises and used to be able to get graphics cards. I haven't seen a graphics card here in ages. MP5 spawn up here. There's also either on top of that or here, there's a grenade box. Gold loot spawn, which is like your Bitcoins and lions and stuff that spawn there. Check here on the ground here and here for LEDXs, and also along here for LEDXs. You can also find Bitcoins and stuff and gold spawns along the ground. So they're kind of sometimes a little bit hidden. So look for that white dot. Say, for example, I had the clock on the ground. See how that white dot pops up? So just look for that white dot, and that means there's an item there. So, and there's med spawns on the bed as well. All right. As for the rest of the 220, I think you can get like I said, if you really want to... Oops. It's this one. There's a weapon crate there. I'm going to make a mistake. It's... Might not be this room. No. This room. I'm pretty sure you can find Bitcoins and LEDXs in this room too. So just make sure you check the table on the side and the box next to it. Alright, last red keycard spawn, 218. Spawns right in front of this laptop. So get a red keycard to spawn there. And that's the 5th red keycard spawn. Now as you run down this way, I would always make sure I check the hallway before I start running down this way. But you got 206 and 205. Inside here, you've got gold spawn there, so that's where your Bitcoins and that will spawn. Med bag, duffel bag, med bag, and then you actually get a lot of meds that spawn on top of the box here, and on top of this spot here. An AKS-74UB spawns, I think, on top of this box there, and there's also another med box, a weapon box that spawns inside here. I'll probably never stand out here and loot that. It's too risky. Up to you if you want him. There is a dead body you can loot inside here, and there's also a med bag as well. Heading upstairs. I'm giving you the rough rundown, but you should have a decent idea about which rooms have value by the time. And the later in the wipe it is, the cheaper these keys become. Now, for this end, West 306 or 308 get you in this. And you've got the 4 computers. A DVL spawns up against the wall. Gold chains and that will spawn on the bed. If you go over, you've got an AK used to spawn there. I don't know if it still does. Med spawns on top of here. Then you got the med bag and more med spawns there. So not too bad of a spot. Now this used to be the gold room of Shoreline that everyone used to sprint to at the very start of a raid. I've got a clip of me getting a triple Bitcoin from this room. On this table, it was 3 Bitcoin. I'm not sure how good it is anymore, but the key's cheap, so you might as well check it. What you're looking for is on this table for gold spawns and on this table for gold spawns. So it used to be the most valuable room in Resort. Yeah, see how you go. Sometimes there's gold chains on the bed as well. So now I don't have the key on me, but 313 or 314, there is a heap of weapon parts in there and weapon boxes, and also on top of the box on the left in this room there is a LEDX spawn. So not a super common spawn, but it's a med spawn. You can have any med item spawn there, so LEDX as well. For East 316, I keep saying east, west instead of east. East 316, inside here there is an actual med box and then a heap of weapon parts. It's not a super amazing key if you're trying to make money, but early in the wipe, sometimes weapon parts can sell for 100k plus. So it's worth taking note of at least. Marked room. There is a chance a Bitcoin or that will spawn on the ground here. It is super rare though. Like, I've probably checked this 1,000 times and only seen mostly gold chains. Oh, and there used to be gold chains that would spawn in his ears, but I haven't seen them in ages as well. As you come down this way, this room's actually pretty decent and not really like noticed much. But yeah, there's sometimes 2 med bags and a duffel bag on this section here, and then loose spawns like barter trade items and that, or tech items on that shelf there. And it's free to get into, so why not check it? Now, East 328 or the utility key, it's needed for a quest. I always recommend just getting the utility key because it opens up doors down that far other end. It used to be a Bitcoin spawn here. You might see a gold chain at best these days. And then graphics cards can spawn up on the bench here. And then there's a heap of weapon parts. So that's needed for one of the gunsmiths. And I think a duffel bag spawns on the bed there. Now, as for the resort, that's pretty much it. The best way to get out of the resort now, or one of the cheeky ways in and out, is now using a fire truck. So you can go up and down here. So if you don't want to run past everyone to get in, this is actually another one of your options. Just vault up this. And you can go straight into the east wing. So now you don't have to go all the way down past the main entrance and into the main entryway. A lot safer. And with the modifications they've done on Resort on the expansion, it has made it a lot better trying to get into Resort. Because like, one of the frustrating things about Resort was if you weren't first in there, you were kind of always dead trying to get in. So I suppose this is part of Resort. But there is a couple of jackets and stuff in here. Jackets, and you'll get some, I think 2 or 3 duffel bags that spawn on the other side here. So one there and a couple spawn at the back there. So that pretty much covers all of Resort. Also, if you come outside of the east wing or you're entering from the helicopter area, the ambulance here has med spawns at the back, but it also has a blue key card spawn right there. And that's the 3rd and final blue key card spawn for Shoreline. All right, so now that we're finished at Resort, we could take the Climber Trails extract, which is at the back there, but that's because we got the Red Rebel and Paracord. But we're going to head down the hill and we're going to head over to the new expansion area. So for this expansion area, it is actually a really, really good place to make a bit of money for barter trade items. There's only one quest so far that requires you to go there. Well, technically 2. There's the UAV quest, which is there's the UAV there. And it's very open and dangerous. But the other quest is you got to kill like 25 or 20 something, 25 of anything. Could be scavs, players, whatever. Bears, dogs, cats, cantaloupe. All right. Now the scav spawns here are weird. Sometimes there'll be none, and then sometimes you'll get like waves of scavs. So just be wary of that and take note of that. If you wanted to go straight to the car extract from the resort, you would run down from the resort and then follow this fence line. Make sure you're on this side of the fence that I'm on. Not that wooden one, but the actual, this fence here. So follow that all the way up, and then the car extract's up there. We'll show that by the time we get out of here. So as for the spawns inside here, pretty much every building has a heap of like technical spawns, but there's also a couple of these crates. Like you've got a medical one, you've got a ration one over here, and this is a new addition to Shoreline. In the past, there wasn't really a lot of loot outside of Resort. This has actually put a fair bit of loot in this area, and it's actually pretty cool map design. Some of the stuff they've done for it. So this building is pretty much all technical spawns. You can loot another crate. It's like just on the other side of that van there, I think. And then all through that section just there on the ground is a heap of technical items. And there's another crate right there. So as for loot, it's actually really solid. And if you get the spawn that's really close to here, I would highly recommend, if you've got the cash for the car, just run over here, grab a heap of loot, and then get out. You got a cool little firing range. All right, so before heading over to the car, the Smugglers Gate extract, or Smugglers Path extract. This one you require a PMC and a scav to work together, cooperate to take this extract. And you'll get a bonus bit of rep from fence and also get a free item or 2. So that's it, located right here. And you'll need to find a friendly scav to be able to do that. A cool option you can do with this one is if you're playing as a duo, you can try and one of your duos dies, try and get him to scav back in. You might get the same raid and you can extract that way together. And then you've got to run across this field into the danger zone. Now there's 2 ways to get to the car or the car extract. The first way is underneath the fence. So you come from this side and there's a little hole in the fence. Right here, and you can just go prone underneath it and then go to the car. Otherwise, running up the other side. So inside here is a heap of spawns of technical items. There's a tech manual right there. Inside there, on the ground behind, up the top here. In the shelves and that. On the ground, along here. Toolbox there. And you can vault over this one. Check for loot around here. You can actually loot this suitcase. And then you've got the car extract. My car extract's super cheap because of my scav wrap. But you wait 50 seconds, or 58 seconds, sorry, 60 seconds I should say, and then you win. If you go too far out, you die. Oh, I'm not dying. There we go. All right, guys, hopefully you found this Shoreline new player map guide and exploring guide useful. With the new expansion, there's a lot of new loot to be able to get. If you're new to Tarkov, make sure you check out the rest of the new player playlist. If you know other people that are new to Tarkov, share the playlist with them so they can actually get some knowledge and hopefully get better at the game. Trying to get to the 1 million subs on YouTube, so every sub does add up. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Comment and like for the YouTube algorithm. And lastly, I'll see you next time.